foe. The snake is viewed as a traitor to the Urchi, and the audience delight in seeing their bronze effigy beaten and battered. So the snake, which is Rykard, worn by gladiator, were driven by Worn by gladiator, were driven by the Colosseum. Their wearer became a slightly their greave wrapped with bronze snake, eaten through by Scarlet Ruff. Monastic grieve. Long ago, the Lux invoked the height of the greater will and were banished deep underground. Now they live there under a false night sky, an internal anticipation of their liege, of the coming age of the stars, and their lord of night. Is that Rani, perhaps? Chain legging. Those plain in appearance offer dependable protection. Standard issue for a soldier. Greave worn by soldier loyal to Godric the Grafted. Rust worn and stained through unending conflict. By Royal Academy soldier. Greave worn by soldier of fought by General Radan's side. Greave worn by soldiers sworn to defend the royal capital of Leyndell. Greave worn by soldiers sworn to Dalichi. Greave worn by the headless soldier who effectively guarded the wandering mausoleum. Damaged iron greave worn by soldiers sent to Binal colony. Chaucer worn by Sellsword, those hulking fearless mercenary set to hell from the mountaintop of the Vinci North, are adept at fighting on horseback, killing the name of their home settlement. Worn by the warriors of Glen of Reed. Grieve the white reed, fashioned from banded iron plate, worn by Inaba, elder disciple of the great swordsman Okina. The Inaba travel in pursuit only the master who abandoned them, but also proper death, who won honorably through hard combat. To be a white reed is to seek death, fighting for the Inaba, who desire nothing more than to be died by the sword. Grieve of the man who call himself Shabiri. Highly functional and heavily worn. The man also known as Yura kept it worn in the deepest reach of his heart. Wow. So that was Yura, but he called himself Shabiri. The night Jaren breaches. Jaren preferred a nomadic existence, but after spending time as a guest, he became the guest commander for General Radan. And for the first time, the reckless tumbleweed will be bound by honorable oath. Chainmail's skirt crafted with blue silver, worn by the wolf-riding Albonaric. Blue silver is a metal born from the same mother as the archer themselves. Provide protection from magic and frost. The fire monks, black iron greave, featuring a flame motif. The fire monks are guardian of the flame of ruin, midnight by the Urchi and said to be the kept and high in the mountaintop of giants. The black flame, enshrouded by the god-slaying black flame, became traitor, playing their post as guardian. The seduction of a taboo is never really spurned. Legrap born by the Knight of Zamor, hailed as hero in the war against the giants. These long-lived warriors, clad in biting freezing wind, said to have been the mortal enemies of the fire giants since time immemorial. Greave worn by the Black Knife assassin, crafted with scale armor that makes no sound. The assassin that carried out the deed of the Knight of the Black Knife were all women, and rumored to be Newman, who had close tie with Narikar herself. Wow, I didn't know that. Greave of unalloyed gold. My Malenia Abedum Killer. Malenia awaited Mikhail at the foot of the husk. My will keep his promise. If possesses the wisdom, the other of a god, is the most fearsome imperial of all. Greave of Godfrey the First. Age of the Earth began almost conflicts. When Godfrey was lord of battlefield, he led the war against the giants, faced the Storm Lord alone, and then there came a moment when his last worthy enemy fell. It was then, as the story is told, that the you of the Lord Godfrey High faded. The who? What's the you? You turn that soldier boy. Iron Greave of the Unknown Knight. It is made from its iron plates. Such metal armor is heavy but provide considerable damage negation. Greave of the Knight banished from Motherland, dirty and battered after enduring a lengthy vagabond journey. Metal armor is heavy but also sturdy, offering significant damage negation. Greave of the Enchanted Knight unserved the Cardian family. The Enchanted Knights anointed by the Lunar Queen were all heroes of the highest honors. They fell to disarray with the decline of the royal family. Greave worn by Royal Academy Knight, time has yet to dull their luster. Black iron greave worn by knight who fought by General Radah's side. Time has yet to dull. So I'm missing the greave from the Godric knife. Black iron greave worn by the knight who fought by General Radah's side. Okay. Greave worn, okay. Metal greave by the Bloodhound knight. The Bloodhound knife are trained as hunter and known to be unshakable tracker. Not the use of language. Each knight chooses his own master. When the decision is made, the knight stay loyal for life. The Greave of the Clear celebrates for their undefeated campaign of the Shenring. Her knight vowed to fight alongside Melina despite the inevitable gradual putrefaction of their flesh. The acceptance of their fate made these battles the fiercest of all. Raging Wolf. Greave who were by Vagram the Raging Wolf. One of the first tarnishes did the Round Table hold. According to old legend, wolves are the shadow of the Empyrean. This is what Vagram aspired to be. Wow. Carry Shield of Greave decorated with red embellishment passed down through the Oslo family. When Juno Oslo received an invitation to the from the Valkyrie, it discreetly refused. I have already walked many a road drenched in blood, yet never would consider myself a champion. The two known as the inseparable twin. Those are two body and two mind, but one single soul. Not one did they stand together, not one word did they speak to one another. Perhaps this armor longs to find the other its way to the other D. Black Iron Greave by Drake Knight. The feature in a spoil of the dragon cast as an emblem of pride as both dragon hunter and partake of communion. From birth, Drake's Knight speak not a word. They spend their life pursuing the strength of dragon. For its sublime beauty and inspiration of awe. Blade would serve as Ronnie's shadow, was a loyal ally who would defy destiny itself as it would have turned upon its lady. Battered Greave from the Foreign Lands, forward by Elamir of the Briar. The winning rusted iron briar are a marker of the guilty. Typically indicate a sentence of death. They also cause his armor to deal damage when performing dodge roll. Elamir murdered numerous instructor and merchant, who was known as the bell-bearing hunter. Iron Greave and blistered by finger, worn by Vike, Knight of the Round Table old. No other tarnish was close to the throne of the Elden Lord than Vike, but without announcement, Vike traveled far below the capital and was caught by the Flaming Frenzy. Did he make his choice for his maiden, or did he some other force remain with suggestion? Holy shit. Greave with gold human bone, worn by unspeakable advent of Sir Goldion. It is said that the bone belonged to an ancient lord, the soulless king, the lord of the lost and the threat, who was known as Ensha. Knowledge begins with recognition of one ignorance, the realization that the search of knowledge is unending. But when Gideon glimpsed into the will of Queen America, he shuddered and